Hey guys, Matt here and welcome to this brand new episode. Now, I have been to the Metro Centre today, which of course is one of my favourite places to go to. As you know, I mention it a lot in my videos. And I went back to Zara, which of course a lot of hype has been going around over one of their fragrances, which of course is one of their tobacco fragrances. Rich, Warm, Addictive, it's called. It's an amazing scent. But I've been back there and I found another fragrance, which only cost me £10. And this one comes from a different line. It doesn't come from their tobacco range. I don't really know what it comes from, but the fragrance is called Indéterminée. And this fragrance is classed as an Oriental, yet when I smelt it in the store, it pretty much smelled like a straight up gourmand. But we are going to actually unbox this fragrance and do a little review on it. So yeah, here we go. Now the reason I bought this one is because the other day, me and my brother is here by the way. You really liked the smell of this one, didn't you?
Is that the cupcake one?
It's the one that, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And I think what I liked about it is the fact that it, like what you've just said there, Mark, it's got this sort of like popcorn sort of vanilla smell to it, and that's what really attracted me to it, you know. So we are going to actually go through it. The notes are on the back for the scent. Here's what the box looks like. It's pretty much a standard looking box. It's the one that comes out like this, nothing on there like
so
that.
It's got two boxes.
Yeah, it's got like two, but it's got like a sleeve and it's got like a box here. Yeah, so here's what the bottle looks like. So it's a clear glass. We get this sort of like yellow juice, and we get Indéterminée in there. I think that's how you pronounce it. My French is appalling, and we also get Zara underneath. So very nice bottle, not gonna lie. Let's spray it, shall we? Okay, so in terms of the notes for this fragrance, in the top we get grapefruit and cinnamon bark. Now when I smell this fragrance, I get an initial blast of what smells to me like the smell of cupcakes. Now, whenever I think of that smell, it's often associated with a lot of vanilla scents, like vanilla candles have that sort of cupcake smell, and that isn't something that I really like, if I'm honest with you, in terms of a smell. However, this one works actually quite nicely. Opens up smelling a little bit like cupcakes, has a bit of like a biscuit, that like sort of smell to it. The reason I'm saying biscuit is because over here in the UK, we class biscuits as sort of like cookies, whereas I know in the States a biscuit is a type of, it's like bread. So I just thought I'd explain that. But over here, yes, it smells a little bit like digestives, which are a type of biscuit over here.
It smells like a kind of biscuit.
It does, it has a biscuit sort of smell to it, yeah. When I'm smelling it, the more it's been on your skin, you start to get this popcorn smell. Like very strange popcorn, and it actually reminds me, guys, of a movie theater. You know when you go to a movie theater and you're in a long line waiting for your popcorn, or you're just about to buy your tickets to see the movie, and there's a smell of the cinema in the air, you know what I mean? It's got that sort of quality to it, and I never thought I would really want to smell like something like that, because if you smell like popcorn, or if you smell like a cake or a biscuit, you know, you're not really... When's the best time to really wear a fragrance like that, you know? I mean, I can't really think of a time to wear this. The only reason I bought it is because it was cheap, and it does smell really, really nice. And the longevity on this fragrance is absolutely fantastic. If I can get this fragrance out there for you guys to smell, and for maybe other reviewers to come by and see this review, I just know that this is also going to get a lot of limelight. A little bit like Rich, Warm, Addictive has. Because I know Sebastian reviewed that fragrance, and since he reviewed that, that fragrance has become so much more popular, and it's getting sold out in a lot of Zara's. So whether or not this one can, I don't know, but it smells absolutely fantastic. Not only do I get, you know, that sort of cake-like smell, but I do get a little bit of a citrus. I do get that grapefruit smell. It is a little bit synthetic. It doesn't smell very realistic to me, but it is refreshing in the opening. However, it doesn't give you that summer citrus sort of smell. It's like a warm citrus, undertoned with a little bit of like a warm cinnamon smell. And it's the cinnamon that's giving off that sort of cake vibe, or that popcorn vibe, as I was saying. Waiting in line to get your popcorn and stuff.
Smells like a coffee popcorn.
Yeah, it does smell like coffee, but it kind of does remind you of a coffee shop as well. Like the smell of the coffee and the lattes, the cappuccinos, all getting made at the same time. It does remind you of that, but I really like it. It's really different. Quality on this is fantastic, and it's long lasting. I get about 9 hours out of this. I remember when we went to the Metro Centre the other day. me and my brother, and I went to the Zara store, I sprayed it on my hand, and it dried down to a really nice sort of smooth, sweet, vanilla type smell. But we are going to go through the rest of the notes. So in terms of the middle notes, or the heart notes, we get neroli and tobacco leaves. So after this fragrance has been on your skin for about 10 minutes, the fragrance starts to mellow out, and it starts to lose that biscuit sort of character that I was talking about, that cake-like smell. And it becomes this very warm, very soft, very sensual, smoky smell. But the tobacco isn't like a strong pipe tobacco. It doesn't really remind you of a cigarette type tobacco or anything like that. This one smells like it's mixed with that, like a tiny bit of vanilla. So it gives it a vanilla and a sort of creamy type of tobacco smell. Very warm, quite sophisticated also. But going back to when you would wear it, I mean, I don't know. That's the thing, because this fragrance it's got too much of that cake sort of character to it, which you wouldn't really know when to wear it, you know? So, I mean, it would be automatically, I'm not even going to mention when to really wear it, because in the summer it would be too heavy. Spring, also, it would be really heavy for spring. The only time that you could really wear this fragrance is in the winter, because with it being cold out, I do think this would work way better on in the colder weather. But yeah, it's starting to mellow out now, and it actually reminds me, guys, of Van Cleef & Arpels Midnight in Paris. It reminds me so much of that fragrance. Like right now, it's only been on my skin for about 5 minutes, but yeah, I'm actually getting a bit of a Van Cleef & Arpels Midnight in Paris smell without the leather, if you know what I mean. This one is much more heavy on the cinnamon, but yeah, very, very similar, very, very similar. And in terms of the dry down, guys, we get 3 notes. We get rum, cedarwood, and ambrette. So in the dry down, lasts on my skin, like I said, 9 hours. You get this very sweet, very sensual smell. It kind of smells like a vanilla, only in the notes it is listed as rum. I don't really get a boozy sort of smell. Usually rum is quite a boozy smell. Or if you smell any of those sort of old aftershaves, the Bay rum sort of smells, it's not like that. This one just smells like a vanilla, so it smells like a very sensual, very sweet vanilla. The fragrance overall is very, very sweet. It never loses its sweetness at all, to be honest with you. But it does calm down from that biscuit sort of popcorn cake smell after a while. But if I had to like think of like a fragrance that I would wear to the movie theater, this would really, really do well, because of the smell of a movie theater. And you know, no one would come up to you and be like, wow, you smell like cake, because the smell of the movie theater smells like cakes and treats anyway, you know what I mean? But I think that this is a great fragrance for the price. I'm so happy to have this one. They did have 2 other ones from this line. They had an aquatic one, and they also had a aromatic version. The aromatic one smelled a little bit like Sauvage by Dior, and that's the main reason why I didn't want it. And the aquatic one actually smelled a bit like Nautica Voyage, and there would be no point in me getting that, because Nautica Voyage, to me, is a pretty unique aquatic fragrance, and I wouldn't want to get anything that smells like it. And it's also very cheap, so why would I want to buy something the same price as the actual fragrance? It wouldn't make any sense. But this one, to me, doesn't smell like anything else. I guess in some ways it does have similar vibes to Rich Warm Addictive, also by Zara, but this one smells much more like a straight up gourmand. And this one is listed as an Oriental. It says right there on the top. Seriously. So whenever you think of a coffee shop, whenever you think of a place that sells hot foods, you know, like biscuits, bread, that's like a bakery even, this fragrance is that. But give it a try if you're into those sort of fragrances. I mean, I'm not a big fan of gourmands, but I'm really happy to have this one. And I think it's the longevity that I really like about it, and the fact that it's so high quality. So guys, I'm going to shut up because I'm sick of my own voice, and I think my brother's getting sick of me as well. Aren't you? He's going like that. He's nodding no, but I know he is. Thank you so much for watching this episode of my fragrance obsession. Really means a lot. This comes from Zara, and the fragrance is called Tone Indéterminée. Check it out, guys. It's amazing. Thank you so much for watching. Keep smelling good, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye for now.